Hey guys, so I wanted to take a second to talk a little bit about stuff going on with the guilds at the moment, and particularly the Spud Club 2 North America. So if you watch a lot of Wood and Potatoes 2, you'll see that I occasionally do videos on this stuff. We as a community use Google Docs to produce flyers that provide information to the community about stuff going on, and on occasion, when I really want a lot of people to see it, I'll read one of those flyers out and talk about it on a video. That's what I'm doing here today. And as I said, it's more to do with the second guild, Spud 2, which last you saw on the channel, we were talking about how we were splitting to be EU/NA. And the story there was, once upon a time, we just had two branches. And within the original guild, there were EU people and NA people. And within the second guild, there were EU and NA people. But that kind of split our community four ways. If you posted looking for friends to play some piece of content in one of the guilds, only half of them potentially were going to be on your region, because everyone was, you know, split everywhere. And not everyone has that wonderful privilege I and other partners have, which is that we can server transfer for free. So we last spoke about designating the Spud 1, if you will, as EU and Spud 2 as NA. And that meant that the North American side of the community could build up the new hall in the new expansion and kind of dedicate themselves to that. It's generally been a really good move. There's been a lot of clarity. But now we've had some other updates. So since doing that, I don't know what it is. Is it because I have a British accent? I'm not sure what it is, but somehow it feels like in general on the streams, in Discord, there's a bigger EU slant to the Spud community, to the Wood and Potatoes fandom, if I dare call it. And I don't know why that is. I've always actually been an NA player, so members of the Spud 2 group, other North American members of the community, are more likely to be able to play with me and are more likely to see me in their chat and so on. But somehow it seems to have always been very EU slanted. Well, the GMs noticed this, and some of these changes are a little bit old now, actually, have done a few things to really galvanize and push the NA side of things. EU is tend to be very, very popular and lots of different activities and things going on a lot. Well, we're doing a big drive towards NA now. And so they wrote up a leaflet I can almost guarantee you guys didn't see, that I want to show off. And just as a reminder to everyone, we are still recruiting. So if you play in North American regions, you're excited by this, you want to hang out as you watch this video, many invites are still available. And you can go to Discord to join. I've talked about that process a million times. Just there's a link in the description to go to Discord, and you'll see how to get in from there. But yeah, so let's read this out. I did not write this leaflet. I reviewed it maybe a month back or something, but I haven't seen what other small changes they may have made since. Here we go. The Spud, the community, and guild on North America. And so we get some cool pictures of some very handsome looking men there. Hello everyone, we wanted to take some time to discuss a few things regarding the North American side of the Spud community. First, we want to welcome aboard 3 new North American Games Masters and welcome back 1 returning GM. That makes a total of 5 GMs. We've got Kuz, Hawkdest, Nasuma, Trevard, and Ventura. So, the NA side has, for a long time, guys, only had like 1 or 2 people that have been able to manage it. We've now got 5, so that's really going to do a ton for activities and events and things. Going forward, we hope there's plenty of discussion, feedback, and new ideas amongst the community so we can continue to grow. With that said, the following is a short list of goals and philosophies in no particular order that we hope to achieve and maintain together as Spud on North America. So, goal number 1, build up the guild hall. At the time of writing this, the Spud Club 2 is a level 22 guild. So yeah, this is written a while ago now. I think we're almost level 30 now. To be perfectly honest, this is understandably a state that some would prefer not to be in, being a part of an unmaxed guild. However, this gives us something to work toward together. We have the chance to experience what it's like to build up our own guild hall. Being in a maxed hall has a ton of benefit for sure, but a maxed hall is exactly that. It's done for the most part. We're in one of those, it's about the journey, not the destination situations, and it's exciting to be embarking on that with Spud. I'll also note, the benefits of a max hall really aren't that incredible, to be honest. A lot of the baseline stuff you get, say, from the tavern and stuff, unlocks pretty early. Anyway, event variety. In addition to what currently goes on week to week, namely metas and guild missions, we plan to also get the community involved in various facets of the game more frequently, like raids, dungeons, fractals, PvP, World vs. World, Guild Wars 1, and more. So a lot of this is quite quickly gone through. I will note that Guild Wars 1, we have probably a stream project going to be starting up to do with Cantha quite soon, so there could be a lot of guild activity going on with that. World versus Worlds, I think a lot of people in Spud are really excited about, but we're mostly waiting for the Alliance update, and then we could go really big with like a Spud Alliance and a proper new... We'll all treat ourselves as noobs and go in and have a lot of experience with that. But these other things definitely, even when I started covering ATs earlier in the year, we have lots of people in both branch... well, I don't know actually. Maybe it's only the EU branch that do a lot of PvP and ATs, LFGs all the time. If you look on Discord, you see that. So yeah, this stuff is not just typed out because all these exist. It's typed out because these happen and will be happening, you know? Anyway, encourage friendships. Events happen and people do join them, but what we hope is that we get to a place where everyone is communicating much more during the events. We want people to not be strangers to each other as much as possible and genuinely want to hang out in game and Discord. This is really important for Spud because a lot of people join, they're like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to be in the Wood and Potatoes guilds. But we all meet as strangers. I suppose that happens with all communities, actually. But you kind of have to put that little bit of extra effort to get to know people and build something of a friendly community. So when you do join, and if you are already in, do remember to use the voice channels when we have guild missions and when we do those events and things. I noticed today, by the way, that the rarest armor set in the entire game, according to Guild Wars Efficiency, is the guild armor that you can only get from doing tons of missions. So you might, this is not a promise, because I often say this and then end up not coming too much, but you might see me at a lot more missions, just because I want to be in the rarest stuff, you know? Take action! We get the cool white mantle concept art there from the War in Krypton, I think that was. For the most part, people gather to do stuff in-game when it's a pinged event in Discord. We want to get to a place where Spuds are getting people involved in things without the need for it to be an officially organized event run by a games master. Feel like getting hero points on a new character? Just go for it. Utilize the Looking for Group channel in Discord, say it in guild chat, ask a GM to ping it. That's just one example, but you get the picture. It just takes one person to start a party or squad. Yeah, so we don't need to always be relying on these 5 awesome guys. The idea is, you know, we're a community, and if you're on the NA side of things, you have the power to make things happen too. If anyone is wanting to organize something, which can be as small as just doing a meta event, that will be pinged. Again, just never hesitate to ask these 5 people, the GMs, to help with that. We'd be ecstatic to set up. And what makes all of this easier is getting your NA role assigned on Discord. All you need to do is type .IamNA in Discord and you're all set. Make sure to mention it to others as well. The more people that have the role, the more people can be aware when things are happening in Spud. So what this is if you're in the guild and in Discord, which you should be because you get into the guild through Discord, if you assign yourself a role saying I'm in EU, I'm in NA or Spud 1 and Spud 2. If you do that, when events occur, Discord will only notify you for stuff happening on your region. And you can kind of ignore the other stuff, which is really important. The only thing that globally goes out to everyone is when I start streaming, if you're in Discord, it sends a message to you. But yeah, so assigning your role, and not enough people know or do that, so I'm happy to mention that here in this video, certainly. And yeah, so then they just added a really cool section here. I don't think the EU side of the guild has such a document right now. Meet the NAGM. So who are the people running everything? First, you've got Hawk Dest. And we just learned a little bit of something about them. In no particular order for what other MMOs they played. Guild Wars 1, Ion, Neverwinter, Final Fantasy XIV, SWTOR, Fallen Earth, Lord of the Rings Online, Destiny 1 and 2, The Secret World Legends, Champions Online, Dungeons & Dragons Online, Defiance, Dungeon Runners, rest in peace, Rusty Hearts, rest in peace, and many other smaller ones that pop up here and there. When did you start playing Guild Wars 2? In the beta. Did you play Guild Wars 1? I started playing about a month after launch. I still play it pretty frequently. I'm a Guam holder. Listen, if Hawk Dest started playing Guild Wars 1 a month after launch, in some respects, probably the most important ones, he's more of a veteran at this franchise than I am. I did play right at launch, but only very briefly, and then went away from the game for like 6-7 months before coming back around the Sorrows Embrace release, whenever that was. So, yeah, I mean, this is a long-term Guild Wars fan here. What would people find you doing in-game? Raiding mostly. And what things are you looking forward to in Guild Wars 2? New content and good story. I mean, everyone's going to say this, right? Nasuma? What other MMOs? Honestly, just bounced around a lot in MMOs for a long time. Started off with RuneScape and MapleStory when I was younger. A kindred spirit to me here. These were some of my starting ones. Up until Heart of Thorns in Guild Wars 2, I just bounced around from Destiny, FF14, WoW, BDO, and Blade and Soul. When did you start playing Guild Wars 2? Since the beta, but I never had the drive to play the game consistently until I joined communities after Heart of Thorns. I think that's true for so many people. Like, so much of the infrastructure and important stuff came with HOT. I talked about that in my review about how raiding and the existence of raiding really saved that side of the game. Yeah, did you play Guild Wars 1? Not until a month ago. Even then, rarely. What would people find you doing in game? AFK in LA Aerodrome until I find raids or fractals. What things are you looking forward to in Guild Wars 2? More challenging fractal CMs, raid CMs to do. Or the World vs. World overhaul has piqued my interest as someone who did enjoy World vs. World in the past. We've got Trevor. What other MMOs did you play? My main MMOs were EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot, EQ2, GW, War, in Guild Wars 2. I've also played a bit of Lineage, FF11, Lineage 2, Istaria. I've never even heard of this MMO. Star Wars Galaxies, COH/V. Rest in peace to this, obviously. RF Online, Lord of the Rings Online, Atlantica Online, Champions Online, SWOTOR, and FF14. I mean, that's a hell of a list there. When did you start playing Guild Wars 2? In the beta, and I've been playing consistently, pretty consistently ever since. Did you play Guild Wars 1? Yes, since release. My server from DAOC, Palamedes, has a guild together, which I'm still in. What would people find you doing in-game? A variety of PvE, mainly raids and other things that contribute towards my legendary armor at the moment, or PvP. It's interesting seeing how many GMs are raid-focused. Don't let that deceive you into thinking that Spud 2 is all about raids, though. What things are you looking forward to in Guild Wars 2? I'm always looking forward to the story being expanded, new raids, and I'm excited for the Alliance overhaul to World vs. World. I think this is just a fact of the really dedicated long-term Guild Wars 2 players. Most of us are raiding, right? Like that's the thing that people are excited about. That's why the release schedule is on many people's minds. Anyway, we also got Coos. What other MMOs did you play? Guild Wars 1. I'm also a recovering WoW player. My nice simple palette here. When did you start playing Guild Wars 2? I'm playing Guild Wars 2 since release, originally on the Gate of Madness server because that was my favorite Guild Wars 1 missions. High five on that. That was a horrible mission at release. Very, very hard to do. Did you play Guild Wars 1? I played it since release. What would people find you doing in-game? I mainly do open world content. What things are you looking forward to in Guild Wars 2? I'm always looking forward to the story. I'm interested in seeing how we deal with Joko for now. Yeah, this was written just before the corner release, obviously. Not just before, maybe even a bit before the corner release. And later, I want to see how we contain the Elder Dragons. And last but not least, we have Ventura, the longest standing NAGM. What other MMORPGs did you play? Guild Wars 2 was actually my first MMO. Until Guild Wars 2, my main games were Diablo and PoE. Wow, hold on. He played PoE before GW2? Did PoE come out before that? I guess it might have, right? Wow. When did you start playing Guild Wars 2? At the release of Heart of Thorns. Oh, no, here we go. Okay, at the release of Heart of Thorns, I found Guild Wars 2 through a Path of Exile streamer that was checking out HOT at launch. Between what I saw from those streams and the videos I found on YouTube from Winter Potatoes and Bog, I decided to give it a try. Did you play Guild Wars 1? Not back in the day, but recently I have been playing it through for the first time. It's been a different experience for sure, but it's been a blast so far. Really glad I picked up. I like Ventura's background. It's sort of more typical of a regular gamer. Guild Wars 1 was very much a niche experience, so to see so many of our GMs were like, yeah, I played it at release is kind of mind-blowing, really. What would people find you doing in-game? Mostly raiding, but also fractals, occasional PvP, hype, PvP is alive somewhere. And what things are you looking forward to in Guild Wars 2? I'm always excited for new story, raids, fractals. I'm also interested in checking out the changes to World vs. World. So there you go. That's a little... You guys might think that this last bit of the video is fluffy or unnecessary or whatever, but you got to understand, we're trying to build a community here. And knowing who the GMs are, who so much of this revolves around, I do think it's quite important. A really nice part of the leaflet. And yeah, so just I wanted to keep you guys on the loop. They took the effort to make this leaflet, talk about it. Not enough people had seen it. And yeah, I wanted you all to just be aware. That's Spud 2. Obviously, Spud 1 is still going in its own ways and having all kinds of stuff going on as well. And yeah, just feel free to get involved. Most of the time when I talk about this kind of stuff and the community side, when it comes up on a stream or I do a video like this, someone invariably will put in the comments, hey WP, a year ago I tried to join, but I never got a response. What's up with that? Just to preempt anyone who's about to type that, listen, it's not difficult to join, but the instructions are very specific. If you mess it up, like trying to join without specifying which branch, or you try to join by doing something weird, you're probably not gonna get in if you miss like one of those things. So just read what the join document says carefully and you'll be fine. Honestly, it's very simple. I would like to respond to people, but I get spammed en masse with mails day in, day out in game. And Guild Wars 2 has a really punishing spam suppressant thing. Like, I can send 2 mails and then immediately be getting spam suppressed. So a lot of people don't get responses. It even says that. This is not the first time I'm explaining that. It says that on the invite thing. So if you're left scratching your head after weeks or months or something, it's likely you just messed something up and try again. But yeah, anything more specific than that, feel free to throw me a PM somewhere and we'll see what we can get for it. There you go, guys. That's a bit of Spud 2. Hope you enjoyed. There'll be more VODs coming up very soon of the big corner playthrough I know a lot of you are looking for, since I just talked about it on the main channel very soon. Cheers, everyone. I'll catch you next time. Bye.